Here's an update on the seedlings. Almost all of the peppers have come up except for the Tabasco peppers, the Sugar Rush peach peppers, and the Aji crystal peppers. I definitely probably restart Sugar Rush peach because we really like those, even though they'll be late, but you know, that is what it is. And then we have the tomato jungle going on here, along with some nasturtiums and some zinnias and some marigolds, and there's some basil hidden in there as well. I have to transplant all of these to bigger cups probably on Monday because I won't be here, so there you go. God damn it, Summer. Chickens! Hello, chickens! Hi, chickens! Hello? You need to let it cool down and then use your feet and turn it into a fetish video. Stop it! They love it. Yep. Swell up those. Snacky snack time. Swell up those. Oh, jeez. Oh. I apologize if it's windy in this, but it's very windy out. We finally, after a very long period of time, have started working on our fence for our chicken yard. I mean, we've been letting them free range, so it's not a huge problem, but we want them to be contained for when we go and plant the garden, because they have gotten into the beds. When I first put the onions in, they plucked them up several times and I had to plant them back in. So we've got more than half of the fence T-posts put in, and we did the T-post braces with the, I think they're called wedge lock system. It was suggested by one of my husband's friends who also does this whole homesteading shebang. But yeah, we're working on this. Hopefully we'll get more of it done next week. Ma'am. Hi, ma'am. Miss Chicken. Hello, miss. Madam. What are you doing? Yeah? Are you demanding snacks? Are you a snack chicken? I've got tomatoes and flowers, and they need to be potted really, really bad, so that's what we're doing right now. All my cups. And I've just started. So yesterday we potted a whole bunch of tomatoes, this marigold, the nasturtiums. These are all tomatoes here. And then those are things that still need to be potted, but I ran out of time. This is some peppers, some loofah gourds, zinnias, and then over here we have more tomatoes. So yeah, that's where I'm at with my seedlings at the moment. We've been working on fencing, and so it's just been a process, but we're getting there. Hello, sir. So I'm running out to collect eggs for the afternoon. But this is my plant jungle. These are all ones that I started here in this section. This box we just bought at the store. Some of this is going to go in our chicken garden. And these are strawberries that I had bought bare root from Stark Brothers, but I couldn't get them into their like permanent place immediately. So I had to pot them into these that I bought from Dollar Tree temporarily. It was a solution, so it works. Then I have these bare root raspberry plants. Those are blackberries on there in the thing with the rubber bands. There's a blueberry over there and a mint plant, I think spearmint. And then over here I have more blackberries and some basil and like a random mutant tomato plant that I'm probably going to plant to see what it does because I didn't know it was going to germinate in the first. These, we bought this kiddie pool. This is what we're going to put our strawberries in temporarily until we can get a better solution. And then we're going to, we also put up all the fence posts and the bracing for the chicken yard because we wanted to initially have a fenced-in yard for the chickens. When we bought this place, we bought wooden fence posts, but we soon discovered, I mean, anybody who's in the Missouri Ozarks probably knows this, but you grow rocks in Missouri. And, yeah, wasn't happening. But yeah, they wouldn't go in deeper than like maybe a foot. So we had to improvise and we switched to the, what are they called? T-post with the wedge lock, I think is what the system is called. And we've seen a lot of people do this, so it should work out. Also, if you see our chickens and you're wondering why they look crazy, it's because we have to leave town. Now, this won't be happening anymore very shortly. But we leave town about half the week, and so we don't let them out when we're not here, and they get stressed, and they pick each other's butts. And so that's why some of them look crazy. On top of that, this is going to be their little garden. We're calling it the chicken garden. We're putting stuff in here that they're going to be able to pick off of, and we're either going to put like a I don't know, maybe like a horse panel or a hog panel or something over top to let the stuff grow up through it. But we got some compost and some peat moss to add into this because this is just the soil that we have for the garden down there. And they're eating some of the leftover snacks from yesterday. Hi, chickens. Anyway, let's get in here and collect these eggs, because that was the point of coming up here. We also have a baby, which I can hear. Hey, Mama. It's okay, Mama. Our outside cat actually attacked it earlier, but it seems to be doing all right. And this copper Moran hatched this one egg. We put like, I don't know, a dozen eggs underneath her. Only the one hatched. A lot of the other eggs got destroyed. We don't know if it was what that was about. I think they were just jelly bellies or something. Excuse me, Mama. We'll see what we got in the way of eggs. We got 3 here. Some of these are gross. What the hell did y'all do? Somebody broke an egg again? Who's doing that? We tried the method of mustard to keep them from breaking and eating the eggs. That did not work. They just ate it. So, if you have any other suggestions... I'm sorry, this camera work is terrible. But yeah, if you have any other suggestions, I'd love to hear it. Oh, ladies. That's just one. Oh, ladies. Somebody is going to get in a lot of trouble for busting these eggs. I don't know who it is. Excuse me, ladies. Anyway, just so people understand this, my husband and I, we're suburbanites. My husband kind of grew up in a more of a rural area, but for me, I grew up in the suburbs, and nobody I knew ever had farm animals or anything like that. The only person I knew that gardened to some capacity was my grandmother, and my grandmother, when she was younger, before I knew her, she had a big garden, and my mom said it was huge and full of vegetables and all sorts of stuff, and it was awesome. But me myself growing up, I never got involved. And so all of this that we're doing here is completely self-learned, self-taught, from watching stuff on YouTube or reading things online. Joining Facebook groups have been very helpful. Everything that I know, and reading actual books I've read. Before I got my chickens, I read extensively online, and then I watched a ton of videos, and then I read a couple of books about it, which I feel like prepared me fairly well. Although I will say this, nothing is better than just like hands-on experience of doing it yourself, because you figure out what works for you and what doesn't. Isn't that right, ladies? Such as, I'll show you in the coop here. This is our nest box setup. We have way too many nest boxes for our setup, but my husband built this. This was kind of his idea and design, and it works really well. We have way more than we need. We have a whole other row right there on the bottom, as you can see, that are turned backwards and upside down so they can't get in them, in case we needed more nest boxes. And technically speaking, we have enough room in this coop because it is a shed. And this is the roost setup that he put them up there and built these stairs and everything. He set all this up. He did it. Because originally I had just like a stepladder roost, kind of like those stairs, except it was wider. And then we have these. Now, we have capacity in here to have probably double the amount of chickens we have. We have about 31, if you include the baby. we started out with 33 chicks when we got them last year. One of them died when we got it in the mail, about a day or two in. And then our first loss was our silver-laced Polish pullet. She just disappeared one day, and she was gone. Never found her again. And then we had to cull one of our roosters. Oh, they're down there in my garlic. I don't know if you all can see this. Look at them. They're getting in my vegetables. This is another reason we want to get the fence up. But anyway, we had to cull the rooster because he was very mean and attacked me and my husband, which wasn't as big of a deal, but he did attack my mother and spurred her when she came to collect eggs one time for us, and it was just not good. Really? Tell me all about it, madam. He was a speckled Sussex rooster, and I've heard since this situation, I've heard from a lot of people that speckled Sussex roosters are just kind of nasty, honestly. Excuse me, ma'am, what are you doing in my garden bed? What are you ladies doing up here in my garden bed? We have this line set out to where we're going to put the fence going back. So what we're going to do is back there we have some, like, what are they called? Concrete blocks. We're marking where we're going to put in an in-ground bed around the back. And we're going to put all our berry plants back there. Yes, sir. And then there's a gate that we're going to put in there. We're going to run it all the way up here. All this is going to be like a walkway next to that bed. And then this is going to be an in-ground space as well. All the way around. And then it'll wrap around that way and go in the back. And then we'll have gates on all four sides. So yeah, here's our eggs. They've been eating some of the eggs. We got a problem. Anyway, here's some onions, which I need to fertilize the garlic over there. And then all of these are onions as well. These obviously probably won't be here deep into summer, but they'll be here for a little while longer. And then once these are out, I don't know exactly what I'm planting here. But we have compost that we picked up to amend these because we don't have a good source of compost yet. Ma'am. Another thing that's interesting is their combs and everything have gotten a lot redder since everything's greened up. It's quite interesting. Anyway, so we have these 3 beds here. One, 2, 3. We also need to finish laying weed fabric and weed eat, but it's wet and it's raining, or it's been raining. But these 3 here in this row are going to be peppers. I think these 3 are going to have tomatoes on one side, as you can see. And then these 2 down here, we have up... Oh, I'm sorry, ladies. Goodness. We have the arch trellises. And I'm probably going to put noodle beans and melons and cucumbers on those, I think. I think that's the plan anyway. And then plants. This side is going to have like shady, acceptable, that they can be shaded out. Because otherwise, this is going to shade it out for sure. Like, for sure. The sun comes over the property from that side. And there's our compost pile. It's a work in progress. But yeah, that's kind of the situation with the garden at the moment. I feel like we've been making a lot of progress. We have a lot of things we've done. A lot of things left we have to do. but we're getting there a little at a time. And given my life scenario and situation is a little bit insane in the membrane. So that's all I can really say about it. Anyway, back here. So this is like the gate entrance for the side of the garden yard. And that's going up to the front. That concrete block there is marking like where the bed will go out from the fence to the front. And then it's going to go all the way down back to the corner. And then it's going to run over here. And all of that's going to be blackberries, raspberries, and blueberries eventually, I think. Depends. If the blueberries won't work out, we might put like a raised bed back here next to this and put them in there. And then I also would eventually like to move the strawberry bed back here. But for now, I think we're going to leave it in the kiddie pool and put it up front by the house. I think that'll be easier for us to access. So this is my sourdough starter. I haven't fed it yet today. But this is the one I started in my previous, and that was when I very first started it. This is the third week. It's all bubbly, even though I haven't fed it. So I'm probably going to discard some, and I'll probably make bread this weekend. I'll try to record for that as well. But yeah, sourdough starter. Also, this might be totally random and not necessarily homestead related, but it is, in fact, home related. So, I'm like a huge sucker for antiquing and thrifting and finding fancy little treasures secondhand. It's just my favorite thing in the whole wide world. Well, one of my favorite things in the whole wide world. And this lamp, which you can kind of see, I got for 12 doll hairs at an estate sale because it was broken. As you can see, the plug is replaced because my dad fixed it for me because it was in fact very broken. The plug was broken, and then the whole bit inside here was kind of messed up, but he fixed it for me, and it was $12. And I have not been able to find a lamp like this, and it's like iron, like hard, stiff, good, heavy duty iron. I haven't been able to find a lamp like this in this. It has a name. I looked it up. I can't remember what it's called, what this kind of lamp is. But every time I see them in antique stores or in, estate sales, they're usually like $175+, and I got this for $12. I would really like to get, I like this lampshade, but I'd really like to get a really cool, pretty lampshade and or make one. I don't know. We're still out on that, but awesome find.